Yes, sir. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. He's 10-3. He's won 4 in a row. He wears a double XL t-shirt and he plays chess. He's Josh Allen. What's up, dude?
Who told you my t-shirt size?
We
I'm not proud
talked.
of that.
I thought you were an XL. You're a big old moose. Double XL?
Yeah, I like the looser fitting shirts. I'm not a tight shirt
Mm-hmm.
guy, you know. But yeah, two
Right.
XL I get, especially this time of the year. I definitely need two XL.
You have 2 XL trophies over your right shoulder. What are you stunting on us with? What is the hardware? What do you got?
Oh, this is the back-to-back Micah Hyde charity home run derby champion trophies, 2 years in a row.
Mm.
And
So you're stepping in, hitting jabs?
Micah's a good athlete. Yeah,
Yeah.
tanks. But Micah's a good athlete. But I think I'm most happy that I beat Jordan Poyer, who fantastic athlete, but he was also drafted in baseball. So that's these two mean a lot right here.
I can tell. You got him right under the Maverick helmet and Tommy Shelby. That's rare air there. You know, there's a lot of lore about your high school baseball career. People were, so correct me if I'm wrong. You were on the mound and you were throwing heat. Is that a fact? And how were you at the plate?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I was pumping probably low 90s my senior year in high school. You know, I wasn't I grew up always the power hitter, and then when I got to high
Yeah.
school, I was a scrawny little guy, but so I
Mm.
wasn't a home run hitter in high school. That was my brother. My brother used to freaking hit some bombs now. You know, he was really, really good, talented baseball player, but you know, I was better at on the mound and at first base.
Did you ever have any ideas of maybe baseball would be the way you went, or you try to do them both? Like, did you have a future with baseball?
Um, I knew I didn't want to play baseball. I always felt like I was talented at it. You know, I
Mm.
played since I was T-ball, you know, 4, 5, 6 years old.
Same.
And I was like too advanced for my age. My parents would always tell me in T-ball, I'd be tagging kids out and, you know, they just kind of let people on. And I'd be so mad out there that I just tagged this kid out and he was still on first base and just didn't understand the concept of T-ball. Um, but there was always that thought in my mind of potentially, you know, going into baseball, whether it be junior college or whatnot. But you know, as soon as I got my first offer in junior college, this was my first semester, I was like, you know, I'm taking this. Let's go.
Mm. And you still got 2 trophies in baseball. Suck it, Poyer. Sorry, Allen's got them both.
Read them and weep. Read them and
Um,
weep.
Read them and weep, and maybe defending the dynasty moving forward. We need a Christmas update from you, Josh. We had to twist your arm last week. You begrudgingly gave us something that you maybe is on your Christmas list, and you said a chess set. Any change to that? Are you still in the market? Anybody got you one that you know of?
I actually was just told I had a box in the garage. So I'm assuming it's from you. It was a Game of Thrones chess set. It looks fantastic. I literally just opened it like out of the Amazon box or whatever box it was in. I haven't taken it out of the actual box. So as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go set it up and play some games against myself, I guess.
All right, that's awesome, and I love that you assume that. I gotta tell you, dude, that's not from me. I would love to take credit for
Is it?
that. Somebody sent you that. That is not. It's not me.
Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't send it.
Okay. Well, it didn't have a name. I didn't order it. Thank you. I don't know who it was.
All
It's
right.
my guardian angel.
So what's your deal with chess? You play online? You new to it? Like, what's your style? Tell me about this.
Yeah, fairly new. I've been playing on chess.com. My brother's really, really good at it, but I took him down today. You know, we played 3 games. We drew
Really?
one, and I beat him twice. He was at work. He might have been a little distracted, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt there. But I've been progressing pretty quickly. I sit there and I play these rapid games. They're 3 minutes long, and
Yeah.
it's quick twitch movements. Sometimes it's just like, all right, like make your decision and roll with it, and it's extremely fun. There's so many different, you know, variations of how a chess game can play out. Every game is different, and it, you know, forces you to think a little bit, and it's extremely fun to me. It
What's your
doesn't sound
style?
a lot of fun to some people. I'm aggressive, man. Like
Hell yeah.
if I can take their queen and I'm gonna lose my queen, I'm taking it. You know, I get this party started. You know,
All right. So take the queen out of it. Do you have a favorite piece?
I would say the knight.
Mm-hmm.
which is
You like moving
the
them
horse,
cells?
you know? Yeah, because they're called forks, right? Where you can put the king
Yeah.
or the king in check, and then you've got the castle to your left over there, and like it's you can move it in so many different quirky ways that you don't see some of those attacks coming too often.
Yeah. I love this. Could talk chess all day. Don't you, in a way, feel like you play chess for 3 hours on Sundays?
For sure, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a chess match out there, and you see a certain coverage over and over and over again. You're like, all right, if I see this again, like that's when I'm putting them in a check, putting a different
Yeah.
pawn or piece there, and just trying to make something happen and force their hand a little bit. But yeah, I definitely think that it's not so much really maybe with defenders as it is really with the defensive coordinator, whatever they're calling, and it's a chess match against the guy in the booth.
Well, I gotta tell you this, buddy. You checkmated the Jets yesterday. Physical game, tough conditions. I know you wanted it bad. How'd that one feel?
Felt good. I think towards that fourth quarter, I thought we didn't play to the best of our ability, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But our defense, man, they kicked some tail yesterday. They were playing lights out. Guys stepped up. Shaq Lawson, that's one of his former teams. So he had a chip on his shoulder. Getting Greg Rousseau out there, getting him going. I think he had 2 sacks, a strip sack, some tackles for loss. Like he balled out. They're playing really well right now. So really on offense, it's just like, all right, let's score enough points to let them kind of pin their ears back and go and not make any stupid decisions.
Yeah, your guy Groot looked awesome. I love old Joe Flacco. He's like a burly old legend, but Groot ate him up. Like it was a rush and a half, man. The ball came out. It was a great play. My favorite jet that we saw on the stadium yesterday was what we call Flight 17, which takes off and elevates over defenders. You encountered some turbulence mid-flight this time. You and I have talked jumping and hurdling a lot. Tell me about this flight, because it was a little different.
Yeah, that was probably one of the latest decisions I've ever made of actually jumping over somebody. But it was just kind of one of those, all right, you got to get a first down. The offense kind of needs you here. As I'm in the air, I'm getting hit from 2 different sides. And I didn't really understand how my body flipped until I saw the replay of it after the game. I was like, oh, I didn't realize like I kind of did like a little helicopter / somersault / who knows it. But I think, my history in gymnastics as a kid, I think that pays some dividends there.
All right, so what do you have a history of gymnastics? We already talked about your youth baseball career.
Did you not know
do
this?
Gymnastics as a kid? No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it a lot, but me and my brother, we were bad kids, right? So my mom would take my sister to gymnastics, and she'd be sitting there, and we'd just be pestering each other, pestering her, pestering other kids in the waiting room or the gym, whatever it is. And my mom's like, you know what? If you guys are going to be here, you guys are going to be out on that mat and doing this stuff too. So we did it for maybe a couple months, and then I was like, all right, Mom, I'm done with this.
Wow. It's fascinating you say that, because after you did the jump against the Jets, check out this tweet from USA Gymnastics. This is a real account, and they say we should talk with the eyeballs.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's the first I'm seeing of this. That's
and they retweeted your jump, and they're like, we see what you're doing. And I didn't know, maybe they knew about your roots in gymnast, but like, that's kind of cool, right? That's the real deal.
That's the real deal. Go USA.
And if there's anything even near as close to your heart as the United States of America, it would be The Office. And there was one tweeter pointed out, Josh Allen, confirmed parkourer. And I know that hits home for you too.
Oh yeah, parkour. That's brother Bill. He's kind of a Buffalo legend, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That guy gets a lot of good content out.
He does, and I can tell. He goes season 6 Office. When Michael's doing the parkour, he's got his wingman, he's got Dwight, and he's got the Nard dog.
And then Andy's
you kind of had a wingman on the field too, right? You had Knox was like he was playing Dwight.
Dawson, I don't know about Dwight. He might have been Nard dog falling into the trash can, but I still don't understand how, like, he was upside down, like completely inverted, right? And the ball was
Right.
stationary, and then all of a sudden he just had that little extra push forward to get in the end zone. It was so impressive. He's a big athletic son of a gun too, though.
I love him. I've told you to your face on the show. Due respect, Dawson
Randall,
Knox is my
yeah,
favorite
he's the
Buffalo
best.
Bill. I love him. He's such a good dude, and it was such a great play. There was a bunch of your teammates that made amazing plays. Did you watch the hit that your boy Milano put on Mike White? I mean, it was a shot and a half.
Yeah, and credit to Mike, man, for sticking it out and getting back into the game. I know Mike. We go back, Senior Bowl and Combine and stuff together. So I've got a pretty good relationship with him. And I saw him after the game. I was like, dude, you're a freaking warrior. Like, he took some shots, but that hit Matt had, again, like sitting down watching it live. Like, I don't even think the replay does it justice. Watching it live, like, was pretty crazy, and had the speed, the violence, the momentum that he had there. It was impressive to watch. You know, I felt bad for Mike, because those are the ones that are right in your abdomen. Like, it's clean hit, and that's where the defenders are supposed to hit you now. But I mean, full run. Yeah, that'll take the wind out of anybody there.
Yeah, he was tough as nails. I know they didn't win the game, but I think he proved a lot. He won a lot of fans amongst his teammates. I mean, he's got it all going. I like Mike White a lot too. I like Robert Saleh too. Afterwards, he loses the game, and in this cool sort of I'm jacked and bald Robert Saleh type way says, "We'll see them again this year." What did you think of that?
Oh, I didn't know that. I do know that the coach or the players, really love him. They respect him. I think he's got a good energy about him and how he, conducts his business as a head coach there. But yeah, I guess that remains to be seen. There's a lot of ball left.
Would you like to play the Jets again this year?
Hey, as long as we, that means we're in the playoffs, we're playing again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, I know you consume ball day and night. Can you get back on a game day and watch the Sunday night game, which was Dolphins versus Chargers? You check that out?
Oh yeah, I watch all the games. Any game that I'm home and there's games going on, it's on the screen.
Let me take a sidebar and ask you something personal. Is Britt into all this football all the time? Because I don't even play it, and my wife is like, "Oh God, more football!" Like, is that cool in the household? How's that go?
I think she likes it a little bit. I don't think she's the biggest fan of it, especially when it's not us playing.
Right.
But we got different rooms, There's different TVs that you can go watch something else if you want. I'm gonna be watching football.
What's she watching? HGTV? That's what my wife watches.
Yeah, that's up there. Or I don't know, Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a mixed bag.
When's Britt gonna make a
HGTV,
cameo on one of these?
I actually asked her right before it came down, "Do you want to come down and chill with Sky over here?" And she's like, "No, I'm good." She's actually setting up a tree right now.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a great thing to do. Let's get back to Dolphins Chargers. I know you love Tua, and we've talked about it before. I have a lot of respect for him as well. He's had a couple of rough games in a row, and he's taken heat. Like, you watched the game. What did you see from Tua?
Again, I think, as quarterbacks, there's going to be games where, things don't go your way. And that's just kind of the nature of the business. Like, sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the defense ggets paid too. They're making plays. It's a product of a lot of different things going on in the field. I've been in stretches where, I feel like I'm not seeing the field well, or the play calls are, not hitting my brain the right way.
Yeah.
I think it's just a game, and I'm sure when they get here Saturday night, they'll be ready to go. It's an in-division game. They've gotten us once already this season. So that game doesn't affect, the game that we got coming up. And I think everybody knows that.
What do you think they did well against you last time when you guys played down there?
Well, again, I think that our red zone offense wasn't fantastic. We drove the ball up, and we had our way in terms of yardage goes in the stats, but didn't score enough touchdowns, didn't score enough points, obviously. And we got to be smart with the football, we got to be able to run the ball this week. And then we have our opportunities in the red zone. We got to take advantage.
You know, it seems so stock to talk about the weather, but it comes up a lot. And it comes up this time of year when you guys at home, and especially it pertains to the Dolphins because they don't play in a lot of it. You've been there now a bunch of years. Have you seen teams show up in Buffalo when the weather's rough and obviously it's affecting them?
Yeah, I definitely think that is an advantage that we have. And again, you want to talk about weather advantage. Miami's got a weather advantage too. You know, that
Yeah.
the opposing sideline is in the sun. It's 20, 30 degrees hotter on the away side than it is the home side. But, you know, having the cold here, I think that kind of evens stuff out. And like I said, my head coach in college, he'd always say, to win in the North Atlantic, you got to train in the North Atlantic. So we've got the edge up there because we know, you know, how to function in this type of weather. We practiced, you know, in it throughout the week. Your body's adapted to it just a little bit, but again, it's cold for them. It's cold for us. It's cold for everybody in the stands, except, you know, fans that have been tailgating for a while.
Sign all of them. I've been there. They get after it. It's an unbelievable scene. And in fact, we tapped into that, Josh. This week we said, all right, Bills fans, NFL fans, what do you want to ask Josh? Let's do it. It's December. We're rounding towards the end of the regular season in a few weeks. We have one football and one non-football. All right, the first one comes in this guy named Ben, who I think is a fan of yours, a fan of the Bills. The first tweet, if we could bring it up, says, what, if any, control does Josh have in play calling? Does he get a Peyton Manning-like control where he calls all the plays on a drive at times, or is he limited to certain checks? What's your answer to that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Peyton Manning control. I think obviously that's one of the greatest minds to ever play the game of football. But, you know, if there's something I see out there and I feel convicted on it, you know, I can make that decision and change the play. And I think the ultimate conviction is a completion. So if I were to do something, it's like, all right, Josh, like you did it, you completed it. Let's move on. Let's not do that anymore. But I do have a limited amount, like, especially when we do some of our on the ball stuff, it's kind of like, all right, if you see this, Josh, like if this coverage, like you've got 3 different answers you can get to here, do it. Like, I don't care, whatever you feel comfortable with. So again, that takes a lot of reps. So it takes a lot of trust from the offensive coordinator for me to be able to go out there and call that. And then again, knowing the game plan, knowing what's on the field, the personnel, you know, where they're at lined up, like what play can I get into here? So there's a lot that goes into it.
It certainly is, man. It's you're a master of it, though. I mean, it looks great, and so does Dave White's tweet. Dave White says, check this out, Josh. How has fame changed how he goes places in Buffalo? They go on, I know my 4-year-old yells, it's Josh Allen, and makes me take pictures of him with Josh cutouts whenever he sees them, so I can only imagine what he'd do if he saw him at the supermarket and he hit us with an LOL. Josh, the fact is, you have gotten very famous, especially over the last couple of years, and you're still the dude from Fireball, and your teammates love you. But how do you deal with that factor of your life?
It's one of the more interesting topics, I'd say, when it pertains to my personal life, because I am so even keel and kind of low key, and I don't really want to be the center of attention, really ever, you know, except when I'm on the football field. Obviously, I want the ball in my hands, but off the field, it's just like I just kind of want to hang out. I don't really want to do much. I want to watch my movies, play some video games. So I it's a tough question to answer because, like, I do like going out and going to dinner and places like that. Sometimes it's a lot, but again, it's my bed. I've made this and I got to sleep in it. And I can't be mad that, you know, this is what comes with the territory of the job that I've chosen. And this is everything I've wanted to do in my entire life, is play professional quarterback in the NFL. And I didn't really realize some of the stuff that came along with it over the years, but it's here now. I deal with it the best I can. But anytime I see, you know, whether it's kids out and about and they want to take a photo or sign, like I always try to make sure that I do something, high five, knuckle, photo, signature, whatever I can do, you know, if I've gotten the time to do it. So I always try to make that a point.
I don't think there's anybody in all of professional sports who is better with kids and giving their time than you. I mean, you are amazing at it, and we see that every week, and you do it because that's just who you are. You don't do it for the cameras. I've seen you do it off camera. I've heard all the stories. It's amazing. I do think it's an interesting conversation though about you just want to be you and your video games and football and your family, but there's this whole other part of your life. You mentioned there's some things when you agreed to this life that you learned that didn't necessarily know were going to be part of it. Like, what have you learned and what surprised you that, oh, I didn't know this was going to be part of my life?
Well, again, we're under such a microscope all the time from the public perception, from journalists and media. Everything that we do tends to get magnified. Like crazy things I would have never thought, right? I go to the beach in Miami last year and there's like paparazzi there taking photos. And I'm like, why? Why me? Like I play quarterback in Buffalo. Nobody cares that you're taking photos of me on the beach. And like, it's just like, I actually ended up talking to the person by the camera. I'm like, I literally go, why are you taking photos of me? Like, can you just leave us alone? And again, I've never had that experience of like someone actually paparazzi, like from a distance with a big ass camera taking photos of me. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, someone at the hotel tipped us off and, we're just trying to get some content. I'm like, nobody cares. I play quarterback in Buffalo. I guarantee you people in Buffalo don't care that I'm on a beach right now in my bye week. So yeah, there's, again, you learn to roll with it. And I try to be as even keel about it as possible. But just knowing that there's limited privacy when you get into a profession like this.
Did the guy leave after you talked to him and said no one cares? He just kept shooting?
No, he followed us into our basically into the hotel, and then at the little gate he had to stay outside.
I hear you, man. It must be uncomfortable. That's not who you are, but all of a sudden you're like, is that guy taking pictures of me? Like, and then do you start like flexing?
I literally didn't. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. Like there's actually two people. And they were like from different sides, and I'm in the water, and Brittany's like, I think they're taking photos of us. I'm like, why? And I was like, we're at a nice hotel, so like, there's got to be somebody else here that they're taking photos of.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we started walking back to the hotel, and they got right in our faces. Like, come on, guys! Like,
wow.
Yeah.
They ask you questions.
We don't have that problem. We don't have that problem here in Buffalo.
No, dude, but you're good in Buffalo, but they'll try to hook you. They'll be like, oh, what do you think of some controversial topic and this, and you just got to power through it and get back to the hotel. You did the right thing. I know you're just the guy who likes to watch your movies. As far as I understand, Josh, you were not able, due to your intense preparation for the New York Jets, were not able to watch Tombstone this week. Is that correct?
Yeah, because Monday is usually my movie day, but Saturday is a new game day. So Tuesday, again, we had to move this up to Monday instead of Tuesday. So I will get it done. If there's another movie that you want me to watch too, I'll do a double review next week. I got plenty of time.
Okay, here's what I think, and we're going to wrap with this. And the people want to know. They keep tweeting me. Have you seen Die Hard?
Yes. It is a Christmas movie. Yes. Yes.
All right. I didn't know if you'd seen it. Not only you've seen it, you have takes. So Die Hard's off the menu. This is what I want you to do. Just watch Tombstone this week. It's Val Kilmer's greatest performance. I know you love him in Top Gun Maverick. Watch Tombstone, and the next week I think we're going to have a friend in here with us, and we'll assign a movie together. But we can take Die Hard off the list. Watch Tombstone, polish your trophies, go get the mysterious chess set that I swear to God I did not send you, and go get a win this weekend against Miami, dude.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it.
See you, Josh. Take care.
See you guys.